A loud meow turned their attention to the wagon. The friends were stunned to see it rolling away, pulled by the reharnessed team of cats. "Wait!" Andrew cried. The three of them realized they stood alone. "Our clothes!" Rose exclaimed. They were in street clothes again. Patrick sucked air through his teeth as the pain of his blister returned with a vengeance. "It is but a short walk home," John spoke from behind, startling them. He immediately started walking, leading the way again. This time as he passed, Andrew got a good look inside the pumpkin. The light shining through its facial stencil came from points of brightness swarming like bees on a hive. Rose was the first to break the silence. "If this all started in the old country, as Patrick calls it, why pumpkins?" she asked. "They're North American." "True, they are a recent addition to a long-time practice," John replied, "but they are superb. They are easy to hollow. They even look like spawn of the harvest moon." "Why hollow any vegetable?" Rose persisted. "Tradition. In the old country, on All Hallows evening, children traveled over the countryside from farm to farm begging for soul cakes. Glass was too precious to be allowed outdoors, so they lit their way with candles, protected from the wind inside a hollowed-out gourd. When they knocked on the door of a person of poverty, if there were no soul cakes, they asked for candles to keep their way lit. When they knocked on the door of a person of wealth, if there were no soul cakes, they asked for money to buy candles. Persons who gave nothing were warned that the imps would target them for their earthside pranks. John paused as they stopped on a rise overlooking the two bonfires. They could see the fresh fire flash momentarily brighter as the last of the new wood collapsed into it. The stale fire glowed with orange cracks cutting through its dark ash. "There is an ancient legend about a lantern of eternal fire," John said. "And I bet you're going to tell us about it," Rose cracked, causing Andrew to laugh. Patrick swatted both their shoulders. John faced the three friends, pumpkin light boiling in their eyes, and spoke to Rose. "A long time ago there lived a selfish peddler who never did anything unless he got something out of it. He did not care about anyone but himself, and he never gave a gift unless he expected a gift in return, always making sure that what he gave was of lesser value than what he expected to get. The peddler was clever and tricked people into doing things for him. As a result, he became very successful. The peddler always boasted that he made his own way, by his own schemes, never acknowledging help from any other source, even refusing to believe in luck or fate. One day, the devil came to meet him, having heard about the peddler's deeds. The devil knew he would soon die in a carriage crash, and wanted to make arrangements for the peddler's soul. The peddler wouldn't agree to the terms, and during their debate, he tricked the devil and trapped him inside an outhouse by scratching a cross on its door. He refused to open the door until the devil promised never to take his soul. The peddler figured that playing such a trick on the devil would be an instant guarantee of a place in heaven. But on the night of the carriage crash, he was turned away from heaven's gate for having lived such a greedy and selfish life. As for tricking the devil, the peddler was told it was easy for a clever person to trick someone as greedy as the devil. The peddler felt cheated by heaven and planned to get revenge by offering his services to the devil. When he arrived at the gates of hell, the devil refused to meet with him, and he was denied entry. The peddler asked the devil's gatekeeper where his spirit could rest, and was told there was no place for him to rest, that he must always wander the outer world. When he complained that the way back was dark, the devil's gatekeeper threw a lump of hell's coal at him. "Take that and go!" And so the peddler hollowed out a turnip, and put the piece of hell's coal inside to light his way. Ever since then he has wandered the night, traveling every road, looking for lost souls who need to find their way. The tip of John's staff tapped Rose's foot, but she wouldn't look up. Her hands went deeper into her pockets, and Andrew noticed the imprint of her magnifying glass in her back pocket. "She got it out of the pot before they lit the fire," he thought to himself. "The peddler's name is Jack," Rose said, "as in Jack-o'-the-lantern, a.k.a. John?" She looked up to face the stranger, but he wasn't there. It was no longer dark. The sun rode low in the western sky. Andrew spotted the swing and gym set behind the school, 2 blocks from home. He grabbed Rose's hand and dragged her along. She, in turn, dragged Patrick. Back on familiar streets, they slowed for Patrick's blister as the sun set behind their homes. Toddlers in fuzzy costumes appeared, trick-or-treating with their parents in the sunset's amber glow. The next morning, Patrick descended a grassy knoll and approached the remains of a fire, this being the 14th section of their grid search so far this morning. Rose and Andrew waited on top, arguing. We must have been hallucinating. We each remember different stuff, Rose said. But some stuff is the same, Andrew said. Besides, cotton candy can't make you hallucinate. It's pure sugar, Rose said. She looked down at Patrick, sifting through the fire bed, and called, Can't be there. There's only 2 paths crossing. They're all cracked, Patrick called back, standing up from the ashes with the remains of 3 stones in hand, initialed P.R.A. Rose and Andrew climbed down to join him. I couldn't find any others, he said. With the help of her friends, Rose buried her magnifying glass deep beneath the fire's cold ashes. The trio walked home, side by side by side. The end.